You were my best friend. Didn't care about the rules, good on the weekends. I'll be in full.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Jinny here. On today's episode, I'm talking with Susan and Atem, female entrepreneur of NYC-based skincare brand looking to create awareness in the mental health field with some awesome, sustainable skincare products. She is at the forefront creating change in the beauty industry, making a difference in the world, something we can agree we all need in our world. So sit back and enjoy this video. Today's episode leads us to New York City, where I met Susan to answer some questions I really had about her and her brand.
Hello, I am Susan and I'm the founder and creative director of Atem. Atem is a South Korea originated brand that is focused on promoting holistic wellness and smart skincare to the rest of the world.
So for the products that Atem provides, can you go through what you guys have?
So we have First Milk, which again, so all my products are named based off of concepts rather than like, the need. But this is First Milk, and it's our hero product. They're face masks, incredibly innovative, and I would say that they're the most sustainable product in this product category, which is incredible just because you get to choose a product that works your values or the person that you want to become. So we have this box, and a lot of this is art and design inspired simply because I'm an incredible art fanatic, and a lot of that influences the way I like to envision product. And I think you guys only deserve the best. And this is our Super Cream, which is an anti-aging centered cream. So this is peptide based, and has a strong concentration of snappy peptide, along with a lot of amazing ingredients that help soothe and target inflammation. And again, with this First Milk, it's a face mask that's constructed entirely of like a natural cellulose. Well, cellulose is natural, but cellulose and milk protein fibers. So it's super gentle on your skin, really good. Both of these are very good for sensitive skin, which is becoming a pretty big issue in the skincare industry in terms of like what our consumers are becoming. And we of course are non-toxic, cruelty free. So yeah, just intensely hydrating, amazing, pretty good, if I must say. Yes.
So how did you get your start in Atem?
How I got my start with Atem, I think with any direct-to-consumer brand, you start with a really passionate vision. In the formative years of my life, I've had my own personal wellness journey, and while developing and pursuing my career, I've always been really passionate personally about wellness, and that was something that I've always wanted to do and create something out of. The skincare and innovation component was simply a marriage of all my passions. So my deep interest in innovation, of really good quality product, and of marrying the technologies of the globe. So in this case, the Eastern Hemisphere and the Western Hemisphere, and bringing that into a brand. So it started out with an idea. A couple of years ago is when I took action and actually started doing it based off all my learnings.
For all the young girls out there, how would you say you manage all the time?
Oh, that's such a good question. Okay. How do I manage to do it all, as in like time-wise?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a great question, and I love that you asked me it. I think, again, I'm really respective of how everyone's individually built. So, and I'm really, really against this whole thing of like, oh, if you're a doer and a hustler, you're a better person. And if you're just like decide on a very measured way of pursuing your career or your interests, that's also bad. If you are someone who fits into the bucket of someone like me who wants to pursue a lot of things, I actually don't think there's a limit outside of obviously like your physical health and your like capacity as a human. I think you also only have 24 hours a day to pursue things you're passionate about. So immediately actionable things for young folks once you realize that you have a passion that will keep your energy up, and it doesn't just mean like your physical energy, it means like your mental and your emotional energy, because that will be tested. A really, really easy way to practice and execute on your passions is starting to incorporate structures and regimens around what you want to build. So if you don't have the capacity, let's say, to like say, okay, instead of going out to dinner like multiple times a week with my friends, I probably will have to, you know, instead spend an evening or two focusing on my ideas. That's something that I would encourage you guys to pursue first, and then that's kind of how you start increasing your bandwidth and your capabilities on pretty much doing anything you want to do, is how I've made it work. And I do everything I want to do. And I sleep too for like 7 hours a night.
How did you know you were ready to start a company focused on clean beauty and clean living? I know you talked about how you were always into wellness, but
yeah. I can speak one part to the clean beauty part, because that's more technical and market-based, and then clean living, which is more about, I think, value orientation. Well, if you look at other geographic markets and just places where other people live, some countries are just better than others, or more progressed, let's say, and living more holistically well lifestyle systematically. You can look to certain countries in Europe that are a reflection of that, in the way they treat people, in the way they treat recycling, in the way they treat products, their vegetable purchasing. And as someone who is fairly informed and also aggressively pursues knowledge, I just didn't understand why, you know, all the product categories that American consumers actively kind of digest as daily consumers, like why that option wasn't there. You know, in a timely business sense, clean beauty is very much thriving. The average customer truly is getting informed more and more about like the benefits of something that's very natural or something that is clean or healthy for the skin. And it was just something that was just very natural to jump into as I was interested in creating a brand that was in skincare. There are so many technological advancements, and I also had so much access to knowledge work and technologies, cosmetics centered wise, in South Korea, and I'm really proud of our country for developing solutions that are clean beauty centered. So it was just a really natural marriage. With clean living, again, going back to just my personal values as a founder and as a consumer, I care a lot about living well. I think that definition is unique to each person. And of course, it's tinged with a bit of personal bias. I think people can take that term and the kind of image and the message that we build and digest it in a healthy way, and then build their own definition of clean living for themselves. Hopefully it comes with, you know, awesome and smart purchasing behavior and buying things that actually work and don't include ingredients that have recently been proven to potentially be toxic. A lot of other stuff. Yeah.
I love it. I love the clean beauty aspect.
Yeah. I just want people to be like awake at all times.
That's apart Atem from other skincare companies here.
That kind of goes back to your previous question. My company is founded off of a value that we really want to bring in value to a very, very crowded space. So we're always incorporating things that are arguably incredibly innovative, but are also grounded in efficacy, because that's ultimately very important in skincare. So that really differentiates us, and that's how I hope to grow. Again, we're harnessing the strengths of K-beauty, but like the frontier, right, in the innovation of K-beauty, and we're also marrying that with all the beautiful things that you can get in a beautiful product.
Why did you choose to name your company Atem? And where does that name come from?
Okay, so Atem, I love it because it was such an intentional name. It's like when you name a child. And Atem, translated in German, means the air you breathe. Germans just kind of look at it and they're like, oh, it means breath. But in literature, more often than not, it's like contextually the air you breathe. And like, for example, when God gives breath to Adam, brings him to life kind of thing. I chose a name that wasn't Korean first and foremost because even if I Atem identifies in part as a K-beauty brand, it isn't necessarily a core identity that I wish to promote with my brand as we grow and as we grow with our community. I really wanted to emphasize a celebration of global influences and of collaboration. I think that's where society is heading and where it should head. So there goes a little bit of my activism there. And then of course, it's a perfect representation of the wellness mission we have, and my commitment as a founder to make sure that this brand lives as a purpose-backed brand, and mental health is very much something that we drive in our content. So the air you breathe, breath, a huge fundamental aspect of staying well.
Was there a reason why you chose the German name?
So I'll be really honest, and again, I don't think these specific countries are the strongest on all counts, but I think for me, based off of my experience, there were a lot of Nordic countries that reflect certain types of progressive living that countries like America or South Korea still don't promote societally, right? So like if you're looking at Sweden, things like gender gap or like how they focus on like taking care of their people, their commitment to recycling and environmental sustainability. Those are things I just kind of like look to in part. I think it was just honestly purely me trying to find a word that meant the thing that I wanted to say. So the German part, it's Western, which fits, but that's about it, yeah.
What social issues are you most focused on, and how do you want to change those issues?
I think what's great about social issues is that I think a lot of these issues that brands promote are things that we know shouldn't be like an issue, like they should be part of our normal vernacular. But things that we do promote just to kind of shout it out there so that there's no misunderstanding. We care a lot about wellness, particularly mental health. Mental health is very much a trend right now in the brand space, and in just like in terms of market opportunity, if you're thinking as a businesswoman, it's just kind of the place to be. Excluding that kind of consideration, it's just a humongous need. That's why the market opportunity arises. And again, I have so many people around me who have been brave and courageous enough to trek that path, that wellness journey of their own, whether it be struggling through like severe depression, end of your life, a lot of these things, me also having gone through a pretty significant journey of my own of introspection and to wellness. So it's something that I just want to use my brand to bring value to the world for. And then of course we care about inclusivity, care about accessibility. I really want Atem to be defined as a luxury brand that doesn't bar access to most people. I can't say all because that's really a big blanket statement, but I'm incredibly deliberate about how we try to develop our products so that they're financially accessible to more people than not. And the products that we offer are things that sit well above the $100 ranges, and we're offering everything under $100.
If you can tell yourself as a high schooler or middle schooler, what would be one thing you would say in terms of mental health and just growing up?
So what's really funny is I didn't hit the lows of my mental health until university. So I was a late bloomer. So maybe I'll speak to myself then. I think what I would have told myself is that there's a lot of love and a lot of trust in this world, and the world figuratively is your oyster. I wish my younger self looked at the world with a lot more optimism than I did.
How do you empower a woman through what you do?
So as an early brand, there are a lot more things that I want to do as a founder and our team wants to do with our mission to promote communities, and also to really shout out female-led businesses and just females in general. So I'm a member of the Female Founder Collective, and that is a collective of many actually that really support the growth of female entrepreneurs, creatives, and organizations. So we developed a limited edition coin for that is very much a way for you as a consumer to purchase something and essentially use that decision to advocate for something that you believe in, and say that you support women and the growth of women. I think with how we support others, it's actually more wellness aligned. So I'm very sensitive to the fact that, and especially as a very fierce feminist, I really support and encourage female and male collaboration. So I'm usually looking for opportunities that, and partnerships, event partnerships, and we are doing a bunch of those in the fall that actually promote the awareness of both rather than one, if that makes sense.
Well, thank you so much for your time. It was enjoyable learning more about you and your company. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Susan is changing the way the beauty industry thinks about clean living and wellness. To follow her journey, go to autumnnyc.com or @autumnlife. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching.